you started late. I mean, this wasn't something that you picked up right away. You started late in your high school career. When did you realize that wrestling was going to be a good fit?
Well, I mean, to go way back, I think I was playing basketball in 8th grade. And then the wrestling coach came up to me during that season and said, "You suck. You should consider wrestling." And I think he was right. So I went out for wrestling. I remember his name's Mr. Infuso. And, he did me a favor. So I wrestled in 9th grade. I wrestled my sophomore year in high school. And then my mother would not sign a release for me to wrestle my junior year because she was a Jehovah's Witness and they didn't want you to compete athletically. So then I went to junior college every day and worked out with the junior college team during my junior year. And then my senior year, I finally wrestled in high school, won the state championships.
When along the line did Gable come into your life and recruit you to the University of Iowa?
Well, Gable actually came to my hometown to do a speaking engagement event my senior year, close to graduation. And so I met him there, but they didn't recruit me. Nobody really recruited me because everybody was afraid that my mother wouldn't sign a declaration or an intent or whatever to go to the school because she was a witness. So I didn't get really recruited. Plus, nobody really knew of me because I only wrestled 1 year in high school, essentially, at the varsity level. So I guess that guy named Richie Softman, who was recruiting me at Montclair State University, when I told him, no, I'm not going to Montclair, I'm going to go to Maryland, he said to me, "You got too much talent. I can't let you go to Maryland. I can't let you do that. You need to go to see this guy, Gable, and you need to wrestle for him." And a lot of people tell you things off and on throughout your life, but for some reason, I bought it. So I had a car. I think it was about worth $100-some. I sold the car, got a plane out to Iowa City, started working at Iowa City in the summertime at a factory. It was a Ford factory doing car parts and stuff. And then after working, I would go over to the Iowa gym and work out. And Gable, I would work out with Gable then. That would be the first time, really.
That was your first time on a plane, wasn't it?
Exactly, yeah. First time on a plane, yeah.
Now, if I remember right, you came up when Gable spoke. I think you said, "Hey, I can take you." I think you were a little arrogant and said, "I'm going to whip your butt."
I was very, very cocky. I apologize to a lot of people for my arrogance. And of course, it's kind of funny. Jay said, "Well, that's why you were so successful, because you were arrogant." So that's sort of my excuse. But when I was at that speaking engagement, I think I told him I could take him. But I definitely, when I started going to the wrestling practices over the summertime, when I was working at a car factory, I definitely told him I was going to kick his butt when I wrestled him. And like the first 5 seconds, I took him down right away, which was the worst possible thing in the world that I could do. And then after that, he beat me up for about an hour, I think. It might have been less than an hour, but for me, it seemed like an hour of beatings because felt like my two shoulders were dislocated. I had bat burns, the skin off the side of both sides of my face. It was tough. And I was basically just in the quarters, huddled in the corner after wrestling him in a state of shock.
Let's separate fact from fiction, because over the course of time, I've heard things about how legendary Gable was in the practice room, which I believe are all true. But when you started as a freshman and then came through and you were a world champion in 1981, could Gable take you all the way up to that point, or did you get the best of him at some point?
81. Well, so from 73 to 77, which is my college years, Gable was the best wrestler in the room, no doubt. Nobody was going to be with him, and really nobody wanted to actually be with him most of the time because it would kind of be tough on you. I believe I came back to Iowa after wrestling. I don't know if it was right before or right after World Championships. In one practice, I got the better of him. But then I don't think I wrestled him again after that. So I don't know what year that was. And I just know that I wasn't going to give him a rematch for sure.
And to put in perspective, he was probably weighing, what, 160 and you were 190-ish?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I was at least 30, 40 pounds every day. We heard stories about, who was the wrestler at Iowa State? Chris, I forget his name, was the heavyweight. The guy was at least,
Taylor.
Chris Taylor, what, 350 or something like that? Gable would beat him up. So, yeah, it wasn't a problem for Gable. I mean, he would just wear you out. I mean, you maybe could get a few good shots at the beginning, but then, after about the first minute or two, you had no energy wrestling with him most of the time.